Hello YouTube, this is Hunter Surge, and it is once again Moonrise reveal time. Let's talk about it. We've got runes today. We're not talking about any particular element, we're just talking about runes and showered stars. So let's get into it. So first up, we have the showered stars news. Of course, of the things that we've already seen. Let's get into new things. So we have Fun Glow as common number 4, and Platypus as common number 5. Unfortunately, the common lineup we're looking at this time is just not all that great. It's not very exciting. Hopefully, we see some more exciting stuff in the foils at least. Especially since I believe this is the first Shard Stars that's using the new card stock. So I wouldn't mind seeing another set of print runs for the staple runes in Shard Stars foil. So that'd be cool. However, we also got this, which is tells us what our full art spirits are going to be like this time. They're the stained glass stuff, so you will always get a stained glass spirit in each of these packs, and then you can pull one in the hollows as well, which is super cool. Very cool to see we're still getting stained glass stuff, and these look super awesome. I like how the stained glass effect is still on the spirit symbol down here. That's really cool. I really like how this looks a lot. One thing I do want to note here is that while I do love these full art spirits, I really hope at some point we get full art variants of the spirits that we get in the main sets, like the foil spirits and the normal arts, because like I like some of those arts more than like some of the full art spirit arts, but like I want to use a full art. So I would like to have more options when it comes to full art spirits. I would like to see those arts on full arts. Is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, then we have the foil. But the other exciting thing is that we are getting the 8th card slot from Celebrations is now a permanent fixture of Shard Stars. The 8th slot is now going to be a reverse hollow of one of the 5 common slots, which is super cool. Very awesome that those arts are now going to be able to come in foil. Very cool. Toxion, is Toxion even in the commons? I can't remember. What is? No, it's not. It's Galvenom in the commons, right? Bronto Strike is in the commons though. That's cool. That's cool. I'm excited to see that one. Yeah, so it's Funglow, Larvacell, Titano Strike. Yeah, why are they all? Remind me, Dan. Where are all the ones? We have Galvenom, Funglow, Platypulse, Larvacell, yeah, and Titano Strike. Okay, so Titano Strike is really the only good card among these. Really not hitting on the commons this time, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, that is it for the Shard Stars stuff. Okay, let's get into the cards. So first up, we have Hurricane. We already knew Hurricane. We now know this is a hollow rare, which is like expected. Just to briefly go over my thoughts from before, Hurricane's like a really powerful card. Heavy Storm for face down runes is very strong, and water and thunder are elements almost every deck is already on. So fitting the spirits for this is not particularly hard. However, I don't think this card is going to be nearly as powerful as it would initially appear, because of the fact that both this and Gloombat, and according to what Dan said, a third card for punishing setting multiple back rows, maybe it's one of the lifts, is going to be in this set. And with all those running around, well, what people are probably going to do is they're just going to adapt to only setting one back row at a time. However, that said, running Hurricane as your back row removal of choice still isn't the worst thing in the world, because if they don't respect Hurricane, you get to wipe their whole back row, and if they only set one, you still get to wipe their only back row that they have. So they're losing less cards, but you're still getting your intended effect of, okay, you do not have any back row now. I will go for my play uninterrupted. So that aspect of it is like still going to be relevant nonetheless. Like Gloombat is a card that I think becomes like really not great when people are respecting it. However, Hurricane is still like a respectable enough card when it's being respected. If everyone is respecting it, you are probably better off just running Thunderstorm or Blizzard. But if not everyone is necessarily respecting it all the time, or people are expecting people to not be on it because, say, everyone is respecting it and states are not respecting it, etc., then like Hurricane is still like a really solid card because it still gets you, even if people are respecting it only setting one, it's still getting you to you have no back row. It's more expensive than Thunderstorm or Blizzard would be, but it gives you that security that even if your opponent is not respecting it, you'll still be able to achieve that goal. So it's still a very solid card. It's just not as powerful as you might initially expect it to be, looking at how the game is currently played. Okay, so with that said, let's move on. We have one other reveal. It is another Omni Rune. So this card's pretty cool. This is Spoiled Fruit. It is a counter rune 1 cost of any spirit. It can only be cast when an opponent activates a card effect that returns 1 or more spirits from their underworld to their spirit deck. Negate that effect and destroy that card. So this is very powerful. Only 1 cost. Negating Ambrosia is very strong, and Ambrosia ensures that every deck is going to have something that you can hit with this. However, that application does not feel super great. And the reason for that is very simple. The reason for that is that, the very simple reason for that is, sorry, I'm getting caught on my words here. The very simple reason for that is that means that this card is not helping you, like, take control of the game. It is only helping you, is a card that you are running as only preventing your opponent from mounting comebacks. That's the main problem with it, using it against traditional decks. Even against, like, one of the healer guys. Like, it's not like you're killing, like, a high-value dude. And, like, those cards are mainly used to help mount comebacks, to help you get back into the game. This isn't going to give you control of the board because those cards are never never doing that. They don't have good enough stats for that. So it's interesting in that way. Like what it's clearly very good at is if Heal Stall is a deck in the format and you put Spoiled Fruit in your sideboard, you win the game if you see enough of this card. It is a card that just completely neuters Heal Stall. Like, what you really want out of this card is to be bringing it in from the sideboard. It is going to be a sideboard card, I think. I think very clearly this is a sideboard card. I do not think it's worth it as a main board card, even though it hits Ambrosia. If you want to stop Ambrosia, use Divine Blessing in, like, a Divine Rune deck, and it's going to hit a wider range of things. So, like, that's just better for that purpose. Especially since, like, stopping Ambrosia doesn't let you, like, destroy something, like, an actual presence on their field. So, like, that's important. Against Heal Stall, like, being able to negate and destroy the Dutragua, the Sluggle, the Quackle, all of those are extremely powerful. Those are, like, extremely good play lines. And because they are going to be going for that all the time, because of the nature of the deck, that means that you can be fairly confident that this isn't just going to be sitting there forever and not helping you get control of the board. Like, negating and destroying a Quackle or Sluggle is huge and will probably forever keep that deck under control. Like, this card existing in the game is probably all we really need to forever keep Heal Stall in check. Because if it ever gets really good, people just bring these into their sides and this card just murders the deck. Yeah. But outside of that, it's like, I think this is a good card to have around, but I don't think it's actually going to see that much play outside of stopping Heal Stall specifically. Which comes back to, well, maybe Heal Stall will be fine because then we end up in the end of cycle of people putting Spoiled Fruit in their sideboard, Heal Stall falling out of use, then people taking Spoiled Fruit out of their sideboard, people playing Heal Stall again, etc. Over and over and over and over and over and over. It'll just go on forever. The other thing that makes it, like, really bad into normal decks is because this is coming on the same set that we're getting Hurricane, that we're getting Gloombat, that we're getting these cards that punish you for setting multiple. And if you're trying to use this against a normal deck, what you are going to want to do is you're going to want to have at least one set that is going to be more generally useful to help you slow them down, stop them, keep board control, or get back board control. And then you'll want the Spoiled Fruit set because you don't know when they're going to go for the heal. You have no clue when they're going to go for that heal play. So you just have this set and ready to use whenever. But that opens you up to Gloombat. That opens you up to a valuable Hurricane play. Like, that's really not great. That's really not where you want to be going into this format. So, like, this is a card that is, like, it's a good sideboard card for specific decks, but you really want it to be going in against a deck where you know it is going to be constantly useful. One other thing to note is this could be, if the Lunar Phase deck is real, this could be really good against that deck. Because if they don't realize that you are on Spoiled Fruit and they go to heal with Voldusk's effect when they use a Lunar Phase, you can flip up Spoiled Fruit and pop their Voldusk, and that's huge. That's massive. There's several extra healing effects in that deck too, and while you're not going to be destroying a card for most of those, because most of those are on runes that do not stick on the field to begin with, there are still like a lot more targets for this to go after in that deck. So there's stuff there in that matchup. So that's another matchup that you might consider this in the sideboard for. Very cool card. I'm glad it exists. It's like hitting a perfect sweet spot of like, this is very powerful in the right scenarios, but it's probably not quite good enough due to like some of the punishes that are being introduced in this set into a wide variety of decks, even though it does have targets to hit in every deck because of Ambrosia and because of how good healing is in general. Very interesting card. Very cool to think about. I love card design like this. It's very fun. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. I got like a whole 10 minutes. I'll just talk about Spoiled Fruit because it's a card that evokes that much discussion, I think. It's a very interesting card to think about. Yeah. All right. That's going to be it. This is Hunter Surge signing off.